Have you ever wondered why politics has become such a bad word? One of the huge advantages boards have when they use the policy governance system is that they have a way to lead the organization on behalf of owners and can avoid a lot of the day-to-day reactive decision-making and tense or awkward political situations you see so often. Here's how. In a traditional situation, stuff happens. When it gets to be really important stuff, and many times when it isn't, that stuff lands on the board table and board members are asked to react to it and make a decision. In that space of yikes, what do we do? All kinds of more stuff can happen, including everything from mild peer pressure to more aggressive arm twisting, arguments, wheeling and dealing, if you do this, I'll do that, and worse. Eventually, the board makes a decision regarding this particular batch of stuff, and there might be a big sigh of relief until the next batch of stuff arrives. A policy governance board approaches its governance role very differently. It starts out by establishing all of the criteria for good decisions at the outset, and then uses that set of criteria, otherwise known as the board policy manual, to govern the organization. In consultation with owners and likely other stakeholders, board members create the criteria for a successful organization, including both direction on what benefits will be produced for whom at what worth, and protection in terms of what methods or circumstances should be avoided because they are illegal, imprudent, unethical, or at variance with certain standards. This means that as the world turns and something pops up, whether it is a crisis or new information or an opportunity or a special request, both the board and the CEO and staff already have a set of decisions that have been made that will guide what happens next. While the board initiates the creation of these criteria, the CEO and staff put it into action by developing interpretations of what the accomplishment of these criteria will look like in practice. The CEO looks at the policies the board has created and decides what must be observable and therefore measurable in order to show that these criteria for success are being achieved. And in making interpretations that the board will deem reasonable, the CEO has room to move to make the decisions that seem best given the circumstances, resources, or opportunities available. In the end, by using policy governance, the board creates alignment that starts with what the owner's wishes are, to what the board says, to what the CEO and staff do. All decisions at the operational level can then be traced back to the CEO's interpretations of board-stated criteria, which will have been crafted in consultation with owners. With a monitoring system in place, you have a way to ensure that the interpretations are reasonable, and you'll know when the policies make sense and when they need changing. Overall, you achieve leadership over ad hocery, proactivity over reactivity, clarity over confusion, and logic over politics. This is Susan Mogensen with Brown Dog Consulting.